Surprise, surprise! It's Shepard Ambellas with his whole.
I knew it.
What
I
up,
knew it.
Jeff?
I knew it, dude. I knew it, man. I knew it. I knew it. You called a little too late, though, man.
Yeah, I just missed Jason. No, man, I was listening to your guys' interview. It's pretty cool. I was having some fun. I'm drinking some Coors right now, and I'm kind of
Right
loosened up. You know, you guys could probably waterboard me right now, and I wouldn't even care. But great show, man, and you know, I just wanted to give Jason Burmis big props and kind of let the listeners know that, you know, he's a hard-working gentleman, and, you know, he went through hell working on Shade, I'm sure, because, you know, he has me behind the scenes cracking the whip and everything.
Man, fuck shit behind the whip, man.
Yeah, I mean, but it, you know, like you said, it is, you know, making a film's a hard process, and
I can't even imagine, dude.
You know, I went into it. You know, I'm not a filmmaker. Well, I guess I am now. I guess you can call me a filmmaker. But I went into it and I thought, hey, you know, this would be pretty easy. Yeah. And it turned out it was just. Yeah, it was a nightmare. I mean, my hair turned gray over it, and you know, 2 years later we had a film. But you know, basically the whole, you know, working with Jason was a great experience, and just getting this information out is important to me. And I see now that Shade's starting to take hold with more and more people. People are becoming aware about it, you know, about the issues, and it's kind of neat.
No, it definitely, dude, and it's like, obviously, like, you know, I knew about you guys way before you went on Coast to Coast, dude, but you had a fucking awesome interview, dude, on Coast to Coast. I've actually listened to it a couple times because, you know, I mean, I don't know, have you noticed the difference in Coast to Coast and maybe the last, because I know, like, the first time, I think it was the night that you were on the same night Abby Martin was on, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. And, like, it was like, that was this whole thing went down with Coast to Coast, and John B. Wells was on. He had you guys on. All of a sudden, John B. Wells got fired. So we had and we had John B. Wells on and everything, and we talked about it and everything. And but yeah, man, I don't know, man. It's like from that point, it's kind of weird because I definitely a Coast to Coast listener, but it seems things. I don't even know how to say it, but things have kind of changed over there because, like, I see even, like, I've always been a John B. Wells fan. I've always been an Art Bell fan, but George Norrie I was always kind of on the fence about, but, like, I still listen to it every night. And George Norrie is coming around. Am I wrong? Or
no, I think he's coming around. You know, they had me back on again. I was
that's what
told
I mean.
that I would never go on. I was told that I would never go on Coast to Coast again, and then they had me on. So
yes,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's why I brought that up because I remember when that when that happened and everything, like I remember I had talked to someone and I was like, oh well, because there was this whole thing with Abby Martin and Shepard Ambellas, and all of a sudden John B. Wells gets fired. So, like,
apparently we served it to the New World Order that night, and it was like, from what I understand, it was like a highly listened to broadcast, and it just, I don't know, it tripped a corporate establishment out or something. But you know, that's one of those rare things that happen. But you know, it kind of shows us what, you know, how all this stuff works, and you know, who owns what and how it goes down. But yeah, I mean, John B. Wells lost his job. You know, things got kind of weird, and you know, it makes you wonder. You know, it's just like this guy. I don't even know his name. I forget it right now because I've been drinking too much Coors. But basically, he came out on NBC, and you know, he's just telling bold-faced lies. I did an article about it today, and you know, all of this is really starting to set into people's minds. You know, people that listen to the mainstream, people that believe the corporate lies, they're starting to realize what is going on behind the scenes. You know, I look at it like it's pretty wild. Like, my perception of the mainstream is I always picture, I mean, this could be like insane, but I always picture like the CIA's, you know, basically running the mainstream media, running certain factions of it, especially like CNN. And I picture them just popping up like in rooms, like with green screens. You know, they got like Anderson Cooper on green screens.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden they just pop up and they're like, oh, you know, I'm at the Newtown shooting, and we're here with the victims. And you know, it's like this big facade they got, and it's more insane than people realize, and it's really going on. And it's like with this new ISIS video comes out, and it's like it looks like it's like a $500,000 production.
Yes,
you know, they
dude,
got like
someone fucking produced that,
angles.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it's total bullshit. And this lady named Rita Katz produced it. You know, she's Jewish and supposedly had her hands in other ISIS videos and all this stuff.
Right.
But you know, it's like, okay, so they show all this like heavily produced stuff with all these special effects, and Jason Burns could probably tell you about this, but I mean, it goes, you know, what it takes to bring special effects to the table. It's like a lot of work, and this video's all cut up, and then all of a sudden you see this guy in a cage that he can basically just lift out of the sand. I mean, okay, put me in a cage like that, and you know, draw an X on the ground with gasoline and pour some gas on my crisp orange jumpsuit.
Yeah.
I guarantee I'm going to rip that jumpsuit off quicker and
You're fucking right.
Then I'm going to lift that cage up and throw it off me. And you know what? I don't care if you shoot me, because I'm not going to burn to death. You know, and you know, just the whole thing looks scripted. It has like 50 cuts within a 30-second period.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
Yeah. Why? And people don't pick this up though, man. People. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, you know, more people are picking it up, but it's like we talked about in the beginning of the show, we still have these people that are just like, my whole page has just been recently infiltrated by like these like pro government people, and it's like I'm just trying to get used to it at this point. So I can only imagine how like people like, you know, you and like Jason and everybody else like deal with that on a daily basis. I know you have to fucking deal with that on a daily basis. I know you do. And just like, how do you, you know, I mean, now that you're on the show, how do you deal with that criticism and everything? How do you actually deal with that? Because I'm actually curious, because I mean, I'm dealing with it now and kind of like,
well,
I get worked right up, man.
Typically, I have, you know, a policy where I just ignore that kind of stuff. But lately, it's kind of been firing me up to like just the total stupidity of motherfuckers.
That's what's going on
it's just
here.
Like firing me up. Yeah, like I can't even take it anymore. And you know, it just makes me want to come out and do what I do even harder and faster. You know, and it's pretty weird. You know, like all in all, I feel like people are waking up, but then I feel like. You know, they're winning in ways, and then I feel like sometimes we're kicking their ass, and I go back and forth on it, and all in all, it's just this battle, you know, that I feel like I'm battling, and, you know, probably other people too. But, man, if we don't stand up and do something now, we're going to be in a world of shit.
No, we are, man.
That's the topic too. The world's fucked.
Yeah,
I mean, that's negative thinking, but it's. I mean, realistically, if we look at it, shit.
Yeah. No, that's what I told Michael. I was like, you know, tonight we're gonna freestyle. We're gonna freestyle the show. The topic of the show is the world is fucked, and that's it. Yeah.
It is. It really is.
It is, man, and it's like. I don't know, man. Like it's.
I don't want to think that.
It is though, man, and it's people need to accept it, and we need to kind of build off that. I don't know, man. It's a touchy fucking subject, dude. Like, and as you know, Shep, like vaccines have come up recently again, And it's a big fucking thing right now.
Doesn't it seem pretty weird? Well, I mean, I even got a call from the CDC. I did an article on it.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally called me with this recording. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's like 9:30 at night. And then they're like, they want to know if there's any kids in my house who's been vaccinated. And I'm thinking like, well, what the fuck are they going to use this information for? What are they really going to use this information for? And does this play into some, red and blue list recovery system? Like what's this play into? Some kind of extermination agenda? Like, why do they want to know who's been vaccinated in my household? Like, what do they got going on?
Why would you ask that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, and it's good to question those types of things. Other people are just like, oh, it's my government. They're taking care of me. Just check it up.
Yeah, it's a checkup. Yeah. It's a checkup.
Well,
I'm not laughing. Yeah.
Well, and I just did an article today on these Samsung smart TVs and how they can collect and transmit all your spoken words, your personal information, sensitive data, and they can communicate this to third-party sources.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. You read their privacy policy, and they admit all this stuff. And it's like all of this is eventually going to tie into a cloud. It's going to tie, it's going to be like something off of Total Recall or something. You're going to walk into a store, and they're going to be like, criminals in the store, dispatch authority, enemy of the state has arrived. They're watching our gait, they're watching our face, facial recognition, our voice recognition. Everything's going to be tied to the cloud. They can target how they market you. You're going to be walking around, and because your iPhone's in your pocket, there's some kind of cloud that hovers around you.
Right,
so it's going to serve certain ads to you, certain advertisements. Everything's going to be tailored for you. It's just going to be a really weird world.
It is. And what about because I recently wrote an article on the new Facebook policy, and they never even asked us about the new Facebook policy. They just put it into effect. And nobody actually knew about it. And that's why I wrote an article about it, to just kind of, give some people some insight. And I wasn't trying to scare people. I was just letting people know, hey, okay, read the policy. Okay, and it's kind of given, them an easier way to, they're going to fucking get into our shit anyway, but.
Reassuring your spine, or whatever you call that.
Right, but, they didn't,
grid.
They have a new policy on January 30th, and there wasn't, anything that was do you accept this policy? They just kind of let it go through. So,
yeah. It's crazy. I have dreams about this shit. Anyone that calls me, they're like, what was that, dude? Your phone's clicking. I'm sure everything's monitored, and at this point, you got to kind of just have the balls not to even care or think about it. But you can pretty much bet that everything's being monitored. You're being watched through everything. I went on a radio program one time, and I was on Skype, and it was like a TV radio program, and I was drinking a Dr. Pepper. I was telling my mom about this today, and so I'm on Skype, drinking a Dr. Pepper, doing this interview. And then I get off the interview, and I go on IntelliHub, and, we have Google ads on IntelliHub, and they're obviously, tailored towards certain things you search and whatnot. But all of a sudden, Dr. Pepper ads are popping up. And I've never searched the word Dr. Pepper on the Internet or anything. So this thing clearly used Skype. It used my camera. It identified I was drinking a Dr. Pepper, and now it's serving Dr. Pepper ads to me. So this is the world we live in.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily that's just what technology can do. And they can be using that against us.
Right, yeah, exactly. They use it against us. That's the thing.
Absolutely.
Technology is great, man. It's great, man, but you got to kind of think, well, how's this being used against us? And I think a lot of people don't actually contemplate that in their mind. They're just like, oh, this is great. I got my cell phone. I can do this and I can do this. But why don't you look at how this is actually being used against you? And that's the thing I'm running into now is people don't. either they don't care, they're like, oh, well, this is great because it's convenient and stuff. Look, you're basing everything off convenience.
No, that's what they're doing. You know, it's all about convenience. I mean, you got to have convenience. So, you know, no one even cares anymore. I mean, with me, it's like I care, but I don't because I got to do what I got to do, obviously. Yeah. So I'm going to have to use certain technology and stuff. But, I mean, people really should care, and it's kind of scary where this is all going. I was just watching this show, this movie called The Machine or something like that about cyborgs and robots, and, you know, this robot was on it, and basically it was like pretty much living, and it had like pretty much such a good artificial intelligence that, you know, as a female robot, that it pretty much was alive. And, you know, this is what we're going to be dealing with here. I would say like in the next 10 years, there's going to be like androids walking amongst us. We won't even probably know that they are. I mean, it's going to be insanity.
I can't even imagine. I can't. I mean, I don't know, man. I see these movies, and that's the thing about the movies, man. It's like they're like you notice
like
we've seen a lot of true. Yeah, and you see we see these movies, and they're just it's not to quote our old co-host Jeff, but it's conditioning, right?
It is, dude. I was thinking that, but I didn't want to say it.
It is, though, because think about it. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, I mean, it's not. I'm not being conditioned. I can assure you that I am not being conditioned right now because I know what the hell is going on. But I mean, compare us to like the normal people, and you know, I mean, we'll just like break it down to the United States, okay? So there's more of them than more of us, and I'm not trying to be an asshole here or anything like that, but it is the truth, and there is more of them than more of us, and that's why we're trying to inform people, and that's why we're trying to you know, take a good approach to this, and we're not trying to be assholes and like the people that troll my Facebook page every day and just want to try to debate shit, and you know, I mean, like I'm here to, like, you know, I just want to help people, and I just want to, like, I'll give you the information. You do what you want with it. I'm not gonna push you. I'm not gonna. I'm totally down with like people, like, you know, doing their own thing and everything. But if I'll just give you the information, I'll tell you this, I'll tell you that. You want to talk, you want to have a conversation. Anybody out there right now, if you want to have a personal conversation with me, I will give that to you. Because that's how I am. I'm not going to be an asshole. I'm not going to ignore you. If you want to have a real intellectual conversation with me, I will do that with you. If you want to be an asshole and be like, oh, you're stupid, and oh, you believe in this, blah, 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 you know, it's like, all right, dude, I have no time for that. But if you're respectful and you approach me, I will absolutely talk to you, and that's. I don't know what else to do, man, because when you got like thousands of people, I know Shep, that you're like, I know that you know how I feel, because I know you have a lot, I guarantee you have a lot of people that are like hitting you up and like trying to like talk to you about shit, and it's like you can't do it. You can't address everybody. And you do what you can. And I will address the people that are respectful and want to talk about things. I will address you. I will talk to you. I will have discussions with you. I'm not all about this whole like celebrity stuff and shit like that. Like, I'm not about that. Get that the fuck out of here. Like, I will talk to you. I will talk to anybody in this fucking planet. I will talk to. If you will be respectful, I will talk to you. And I'm pretty sure.
I'm the same way. I mean,
right. I know you're.
Like, with me, it's all about getting this information out and like. Yeah. Essentially kicking the New World Order's ass. But, I mean, how far along do you guys think we are in this? Do you think we're getting our asses kicked in this information war, or do you think we're kicking ass?
It's fucking tough, man. I don't know, man. It's hard. I mean, am I wrong? Is it hard to depict this right now? Because I don't.
It's been a good battle.
Some days I'm like, oh man, we fucking kicked their ass today, and then some days I feel like we're getting our ass.
Yeah. You feel kicked. Like one day that you're like, okay, we're kicking ass, but then you get, that's how I feel. And I don't know. You know what? It fucking confuses me. It does. I get confused sometimes because I don't know what's going on through people's heads and shit. And I don't know, man. I want to help people. I'm not trying to push people to do things. You do what you want to do. I am fully agreeable on doing what you want to do to a certain moral extent, but I mean, like, what do you want us to do? Like, I mean, like, we can only like give you this information and we can only like spread this along, but if you don't want to listen to it, what do people like us do? Like Jason and like me and like you and like Jeff and like Michael and Adam Kokesh and like I brought up and like everybody, dude. Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, why are we responsible for this? Like, you know,
it's weird
that
there's only a handful of people that really have the balls to do anything. You know, it's kind of weird.
It is. And
I mean, it really trips me out, but, you know, I guess that's how it was meant to be. But, you know, like, all in all, like, there's this guy, Brian Williams. I did an article on him today. He came out, and, you know, he's told lies. You know, he said his Chinook helicopter was shot at with RPGs and stuff. But all this stuff is discrediting the mainstream media. Ultimately, people aren't going to buy all their bullshit anymore. You know, these guys, Anderson Cooper, who are absolutely, you know, like Anderson Cooper was an intern for the CIA. He popped up on these green screens and stuff, you know, like with the Sandy Hook deal and everything. Mm-hmm. I think people are, like, starting to get this.
No, they are. They are. But, I mean, like...
It'll be interesting to see how this all turns out. And then, you know, to see people like Jeb Bush, they're going to run for the presidency. I mean, you can pretty much bet that he'll probably be the next president. So, you know, we got another...
Yeah. Isn't that fucked up, though, that you have to say that, though?
Yeah.
Isn't that... Yeah.
I mean, it's just, like, guaranteed shit because they're just going to insert their people. They're going to carry out their agenda. Yep. But, you know... What, you know, I was thinking lately, like, why doesn't, like, the militia just get together and storm the White House or something and just arrest these criminals? I mean,
how many of us compared to them? Yeah. Right. And, you know, we did have a guest on about a month or so ago, Robert David Steele. I don't know if you've heard of him. He used to be a CIA spy, but he's actually, we respect this guy a lot because he's done a lot of good shit. And we had him on the show, and, he's all for, like, the Reform Party, kind of, you know, and not kind of, like, he ran for president. Have you ever heard of Robert David Steele?
No, I haven't personally.
Check him out, dude, because, like, really, man, I have conversations with him a lot, and he's real, man. He was actually a spy in the CIA, and I don't know, but just check him out. He's a good dude. We had did we not have an awesome conversation with Robert?
Yeah, it was really good, actually.
Yeah,
it really was.
He's a smart guy.
Exactly, and he's the guy that worked for the government, worked for the CIA. He was a spy, but he's definitely on our side. And he's, like, trying to form this Reform Party. He's trying to get, like, people like Ron Paul, Dennis Kucinich, and all those people together as a whole. And like, he will, like, you know, he's actually run for president, but he stopped because of the whole Ron Paul thing. But, I mean, he is, man. He's, there are people out there that do give a shit, that do actually have worked for the government, that know what's going on, and they do want to help. But that's the thing, like, me and you, Shep, dude, we need to, like, get this shit out there. And, you know, I don't know, man. I should hook you up with him, and you should actually interview him, because I know for a fact that you would. That's an interview that you would like. So I'm actually going. Yes. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I need to get my shit together and do my radio show again.
Get your fucking radio show going, dude. You need to. We need
I've
to
had
do
some issues. You know, like, you wouldn't believe how many people in the so-called truth movement are just assholes.
No, I do.
You know, they're like posers, basically. They'll come in and just like rip you off. I mean, I've probably been robbed for $50,000 in the last year, just from random people, that claim to be truthers and stuff. This is what's sad. It's because like the whole movement's infiltrated. I mean, it makes it tough, but all in all, people know who's real. People know who's going to be there for a long time. People know who's solid, and people know who's telling the truth. And all in all, I think we have a good shot at basically dethroning these people, dethroning the New World Order, just, really serving it to them in ways that they'll never imagine. They never thought that a couple, like with me, I mean, I'm a high school dropout, so it's kind of comical that a high school dropout serving in the New World Order. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Same
Dude,
here.
What you're saying, man, makes me feel good inside.
Same here, buddy. Yeah.
I'm liking it.
So doesn't that make you guys feel better, dude? Because it doesn't matter, dude. That shit doesn't matter, dude. That's like mainstream fucking bullshit right there. There's some of the most intelligent people that I've ever met, never went to college, never graduated from high school. And
I
don't give
wish
a fuck
I did drop out of high school.
I don't care what anyone says, dude. I rebelled against high school, dude. I rebelled against the fucking schooling system and shit, dude. And I was the only one that fucking took that fucking chance, dude.
It's people like us that just never bought into we never bought into their bullshit from the beginning, so we saw it clear as day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people can do I'll say it right here, right now. You can do anything you want to. If you want to be an astronaut for NASA, if you want to be a, top journalist in the world, if you whatever you want to do, you want to be a rock star, you can do it. But motherfuckers got to be willing to put in the work to do it. This shit doesn't grow on the tree.
Put in the work. You do not need a degree. You just need to put in the work, and that's all there is to it. And don't let people think, don't think that like, oh, well, I got to go to college and I need to get a degree. No, trust me, you do not need a degree to put in that stuff. Put in the work. Put in the work, and that's all there is to it. Work.
It's a lot of hard work, but a lot of people don't realize what work is nowadays. That's another sad thing about our society. I used to run an electrical contracting company. And, because I own my own, I'm an electrical contractor. I don't do it anymore. But, it's amazing that, I've hired and fired over 200 electricians and probably only had one good one. I mean, people just don't understand what real work is. I used to be a commercial fisherman. I was a commercial fisherman for I only did it for 3 months. But, I mean, it was 3 hard months. But, you do something like that, and you realize what it really takes to do something, realistically. And then you can apply this type of work mentality to anything, and you can do it. You can get it done. But people don't realize that. They're too stuck in their mindset of how they were taught that you got to climb the corporate ladder. You got to work for.
You don't have to. Yeah. You don't, man. We're proof, man. You don't have to do that, dude. I mean,
it's all about being an entrepreneur and just doing what you want to do.
It is. I mean, like you, man. What woke you up? Like you were working and you were doing your own thing, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, what woke you up? You were just kind of driving by.
Well, you know what?
You saw something.
With me, I was actually an electrical contractor, and the whole housing market crumbled and everything. And I was wiring, a lot of projects. I mean, I had a huge electrical contracting company at one point, 30 employees, and I was doing it up full blown, and the housing market crashed, and I wanted answers. I wanted to know who took me out of business, why did this happen, what was the deal, and I started. I basically lost everything. I did lose everything, and me researching into this stuff is what kind of fueled my fire to start the Intel Hub, or IntelliHub, what it's known as now. And I took it from there, and I didn't even know how to type at the point, because I never even really used a computer. And now, if you look at it, I mean, IntelliHub's in the upper, 1% trafficked here in the entire world. There's 1 billion websites worldwide. We're in the upper 1% trafficked here. That's basically essentially on a New World Order scale, if you look at it like that. So, like, we're right up there with the elite, and we're fighting them toe-to-toe. And, you know, that's all done from just my drive from essentially being fucked over by the New World Order.
Yeah, man, and it's like I don't know, man. A lot of people's shows had to do with that, but dude, that's why I, you know, it's like I was listening to the interview that you did with Coast to Coast, man, and described everything and how you were just kind of riding down the road, and you're like, oh, well, I noticed this was going on, and you know, and that's what regular people, man, like me and you, dude, where people need to understand, man. Me and Shep, dude, are regular people, okay?
Yeah.
Don't fucking mistake us for, like, something else, because we're regular fucking people. And we drive down the road, and if we see something that it's like, whoa, what's going on with that? You know, like, what, you know, we're going to question it.
I think it's like questioning everything. I always questioned everything.
Yeah.
You probably were the same way. And, you know, that leads you to find out there's more to the world, you know, than meets the eye. Like Jordan Maxwell says in Shade the Motion Picture.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, basically nothing in the world works the way you think it does. And, you know, it couldn't be more true.
No, it's not. And it's kind of sad that people criticize us a lot. I mean, we got to deal with it. I mean, I'm kind of going through this thing now where I'm like, well, I kind of got to deal with this shit because it's going to happen. And but I'm not at that level like that you guys are at and shit right now, but I'm kind of getting there. And I don't know, man. Like, I respect you guys for being able to actually deal with that, because people need to understand, man. It's like I don't even know how to put it, but like, I mean, it's a lot of pressure, man. It's a lot of pressure, and I mean,
essentially, we're out here risking our lives for this.
Yeah.
And,
yes.
You know, for me, it comes naturally. I mean, it's like whatever. You know, I used to race motocross. I've done some crazy shit in my life. I probably should have been dead 100 times, so I don't really care. I'm just going to do it. But you know, you do risk your life for this, and you know, people need to kind of appreciate and understand that. But you know, that's not what it's all about. I mean, essentially, it's all about a goal, a goal to basically, you know. I mean, it's like whatever happened to doing something right for humanity. I mean, whatever happens to just what's right and wrong. I mean, people know what's right and wrong. People know that, you know, what Obama's doing right now can't be right. I mean, you come in, you sign 190-something executive orders. I mean, you know, everything you're doing just destroyed the entire country. We're $18 trillion in debt. You know, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, can that possibly be good? I mean, whatever happened to, I mean, you know, if you inserted me into the presidency tomorrow, I mean, I guarantee you I'm going to do some good. Things are going to get fixed.
You're fucking right, you're going to do some good. Yeah.
With these guys, it's just going to go backwards. It's going to go backwards every single time. Then you're going to get a Jeb Bush in there. You're going to get some other elite in there. Hillary Clinton, whoever it is.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just going to go backwards.
And I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough, dude. It's a hard thing to deal with, dude. But we're doing what we can. That's why we have these radio shows, and we just, you know, if we're only reaching like 2,000 or 3,000 people a night, you know, that's a progress in my mind.
It still makes a chunk, and you know what? It adds up.
You're right.
People are going to listen to it in the future, and hey, when the whole world's blown up, maybe someone will listen to this archive and realize where they fucked up, you know, because they didn't have any balls. They didn't grow any balls and do anything for themselves, you know. So maybe they'll hear this archive that's only listened to by 2,000 people right now, and they'll just be like, man, you know, maybe we should have done something. We should have grown some balls.
Yep. I totally agree, man. So we're on record, man. This shit gets recorded, man. So I mean, I and it's like me and you, Shep. We're not looking for like credit or anything like that, dude. I'm here to inform people, man. I just want to help people. Do what you want to do. You want to, like we talked about earlier, man, vaccines. If you want to vaccinate your children or whatever, do what you want, man. I'm just here to like let you know. Like, I mean, this could be the issue. You can have an issue with this. This is dangerous. Whatever,
Yeah.
I'm not
totally.
I'm not gonna judge you because you did this and that. I'm not here for that. I'm just.
Yeah, everyone has their own opinion and all this, and
exactly.
That's what America's all about, I guess. But I got to jump out of here right now, guys.
Yeah,
and,
we're about to close out anyway.
I appreciate your time and all that, and it was great hearing Jason, and it's good working with him. And
dude, I really appreciate what you had to say.
And definitely
hope you're
man.
giving. It's very encouraging, especially in these times when you see all these people and idiots, and like you said, the New World Order every day encroaching upon our rights.
And we will. We need to do an episode actually that is focused on Shep. So Shep, you're trying to. Yeah, dude. So you called in tonight, so you could probably handle coming in for an hour and talking some shit. So let's do it.
Yeah,
man.
For sure. For sure. Keep doing what you guys do. Keep kicking ass and fuck the New World Order.
Yeah, man. Right on.
Fucking right, dude. That's my bull.
Yeah,
fucking right, man. That's what I like to hear right there, dude. Fuck the New World Order, dude. That's what I like to hear.
You guys have a nice night.
You too, dude. Thank you, man.
Dude. Enjoy your night, dude.